from the briefing. Today is Tuesday, July 21st, and I'm going to talk more about the crisis in our California prisons. To date, 39 people have died of COVID in our state prisons. I'm going to leave it right there for you. So today's topic, cell phones. During a time of COVID, incarcerated people need cell phones. After a time of COVID, incarcerated people need cell phones. And I'm going to tell you why. 3 very reasons: communication, mental health, and cost. So just the other day, San Quentin, one of our California state prisons, issued a decision to suspend phone access for incarcerated people. The ancillary benefit of this, of course, is that you are stopping the flow of information from the outside in. San Quentin is saying they're doing this to stop the spread of COVID. What it means is that incarcerated people are now going to have limited access to news, getting it mainly from newspapers and the radio. This is a problem because folks who are on the inside already have limited opportunities to communicate with folks on the outside. It happens through in-person visitation, which has also been suspended. It happens through snail mail, who is writing letters anymore, and through phone calls. Ample research is out there that says it is so important for incarcerated people to be able to connect to folks on the outside. If there's constant communication, it lowers the chance of reoffense, and it also increases the success of reentry into community. So why is it important to communicate? People should be able to talk to their loved ones, their parents, their children, their boos, especially during a time of COVID, to make sure that folks are okay, they are healthy, they are alive. It's also important to be able to connect to outside resources to help you while you're on the inside. And lastly, and equally important, it is important to have access to legal counsel. I don't know about you, but cutting off or suspending people's access to phones speaks to me of a lawsuit on the way for California. Why is this also important to allow folks to have cell phones? Because of mental health. We are suspending visitation. We are suspending access to phones. Folks have already seen limited amount of time that they're able to spend on the yard. Prison is not about isolation. That is why advocates have been so adamant about shutting down solitary housing units. We are not talking about socially distancing. We are not talking about spatially distanced. No, I'm getting it all confused, but you know what I mean. The reason why all of us are Zooming and FaceTiming is because it's important to socially engage, to connect to other folks. You can do that while you spatially distance. And that's what also needs to happen in our prisons. There is a reason why there are multiple suicide attempts in COVID quarantine of women who are in our California institution for women. It is about being spatially distanced, not socially distanced. We are on the verge of having a mental health explosion in our California prisons. Last reason, cost. It is cost prohibitive to use prison phones. I have to tell you something. GTL, GoTel Link, is running game on California and is running game on incarcerated people and their families. The average incarcerated person earns less than $1 a day for work. The average 15-minute phone call costs about $2. That is why so many folks on the inside ask to get money on the books, to pay for the commissary, which is cost prohibitive, and also to pay for phones, which is why they need cell phones. I'm here to tell you, it's already happening. That is the news flash. Cell phones are already being smuggled into prison, and we are not hearing about cell phone gate. So, California, we need to let incarcerated folks have access to cell phones. If they do something nefarious, you take it away. I am Sydney Kamlager. This is the briefing. Cell phones now. I'll see you on Thursday to talk more about COVID and our California prisons.